Carrie in Douglas, Georgia.
You're going to handle that dog, too.
Carrie, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Nah.
Black
Good morning,
Lab.
guys.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I just had a comment about the homework. I wish I had a dime for every time I've asked my kids, what did y'all do in school all day?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's ridiculous, and it started in, like, first grade.
Yeah, how about this? A little less field trip, a little less square dancing, a little less indoctrinating them into the, the
Cultural diversity, and let's get the reading, writing, and arithmetic and get it done at school.
Yeah, I think the schools have got it backwards.
When they send these projects home, the kids don't do them anyway.
No.
The kids don't do them.
Yeah, the parents do.
You're kidding yourself. If you want them to do it at school.
That's right. Because the
I've
parents,
seen some of them projects. Them kids ain't doing that.
the parents just want it out of their way.
I know their kids ain't doing it because we have to help ours to get ours even in the game to stay with those other ones.
You're exactly right. And
don't do
it's almost flipped. It's like the schools spend that 8 hours they have them teaching them things that should be taught at home, and then they send home what they should be doing at school. We got it backwards. Hey, I can handle that other stuff. That's called parenting.
Yeah.
What I'm not is a school teacher. That's called homeschooling. I mean, I know a lot of you are very good at it. I just don't see me pulling that off. All right, now Speedy is said that he's interested.
That would be pretty cool to get a chance to meet the future president, wouldn't it?
Possibly.
You never know.
You never know. He's got to get that nomination first. One of the things that the Republican Party's got to be concerned about, you keep hearing the rumblings of Donald Trump saying he might run as an independent. That could be Ross Perot all over again. So you really kind of hope that doesn't happen.
Well,
I mean, you really do.
I don't think you'll see that. I think Trump wants to be involved, and he may have a place to be involved. But I think he knows that Ross Perot is going to go down in history as being a little almost a character, and not very flattering. And it isn't that the Donald hadn't already won, but
right.
I think if he went down in history as known as the guy who put Obama in again, he couldn't live with himself on that because he'd get asked about it everywhere he went.
True.
I don't think he'd do that.
True.
I mean, now granted, he'd rent his estate in a tent to Muammar Gaddafi. He can get by on that, but I don't think he could get by on the other. But
yeah, and Trump to me comes across a little bit like a non-politician Fred Thompson. He likes the idea of talking about being president, but then
running.
But then what it actually takes to run, the things you have to deal with, it's like,
it's a quag, man. It really is.
Right.
It really is.
Bubba, we have a new American poll out, the most hated person in America.
Who do you think it is?
Oh, I know who it is. I knew who it is without even looking. That's Casey Anthony.
Yeah, Casey Anthony, the Florida woman who was found not guilty of taking the life of her 2-year-old daughter, is the most hated person in America, according to a new poll.
She moved in front of the Octomom and O.J. Simpson. Is that right?
Which, by the way, that's not easy to win that.
There's a list. How about that's a list right there?
The most hated person. Didn't say woman.
Octomom,
person in America.
O.J. Simpson, Paris Hilton.
There's a lot of people in America.
Lindsay Lohan's got
You're
to
the
be on
most
it
hated
somewhere.
one.
Yeah, how about if you got up today and you find out that they took a poll of Americans and you are the most despised person? And like Greg said, that's a lot of people to
Yeah,
get
I know. Golly.
Now, this is very
So
deserving
if she
for her.
hated, hated because the majority of the people think she did it and she got off?
Pretty much,
Is that
yeah.
it?
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
Bubba, look.
I mean, is that what they're basing it
Well,
on?
you know what? I think I don't know if you can go to number
You
one.
kill your own child and get away with it. People hold it against you.
But I don't know if you can go to number one. But let's say that she really is innocent.
Yeah.
We still know that her child, stepped into eternity, and her response to that was to go out partying.
Right.
I mean, even if you didn't do it, people are not going to be happy
Well,
about
I
that.
think
for
that's
30
the thing.
days,
They
cover
think-
it up.
I don't know if they think she did it or not, but they just think she's a bad person.
Well,
At
her own
best.
attorney said that.
At best, she's a bad person.
Yeah. Her own attorney
Yeah.
said, "Hey, look, she's a bad mother. I'll give you that. All right? She's a bad mom, but she's not a murderer." And that's what they pulled that off.
Now, we've proven she made up, a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
I mean, really ridiculous stuff. But now this one story she's telling, we're going to believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also one of the things that was sort of, bizarre in the whole deal, like we talked about. I mean, I just have a hard time, and I understand like it came down to physical evidence, but I just have a hard time of people going, we've established that she will tell stories that aren't true.
Yes. Yes, she will.
But somehow her alibi suddenly. Now I want y'all to know that part is true.
Right. Now
She's lied about 8 other things, but we're gonna buy this story.
They're
This
not
part
just
of it.
lies, made up a nanny that that supposedly took the child and made that person completely up.
Yeah, it didn't even
and
exist.
admitted it. Yeah, I made him up.
Yeah.
And was saying that person had her. So that kind of would. I know it's circumstantial, but that might make me be a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Brian in Montgomery listening to I-92. Brian, thanks for your patience. Go right ahead.
Hey, Green Acres, guys.
Thanks for the call. Glad you're working.
Yeah, I was talking about I agree with you, Rick, about taking over those other countries that owe America. Because if you think about it, what does Uncle Sam do when his fellow citizen doesn't pay their taxes on time? They repossess the land.
They come take your land.
Exactly. So why don't we do that to the other countries that owe us?
Look,
repossess their land.
Look,
they owe us. Isn't it past due that they owe us?
Well, yeah. I mean, to me, why occupy a country if you're not getting anything out of it?
Yeah.
And so.
Well, look at it this way: return on investment. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, guys, and I know a lot of you go imperialism. I got news for you. We were pretty imperialistic on our way to the West Coast, weren't we?
Rick, listen, that you can be critical all you want. That's just the way the world is. That's the fallen creation. No one legally owns anything. Everybody took it from somebody.
Yeah. Now looking back,
by force. I mean that is how you legally get something in the world stage.
Well, granted, looking back, we probably should have stopped not taking California. We all know that, but there's no way to go back now. But I guess what I would say is this, and I'm not even saying it's for some of you that can't deal with this kind of straightforwardness. Let's just at least go from the approach of Iraqi people. Are you glad to be free of your evil tyrant? Yes, we are. Well, you know what? We need a little help over here in America right now. We need you to quit hassling us about the oil. Okay, we need some of this oil to be ours. We won't take it all. Okay, that's not unreasonable. Kuwait, you remember when Saddam was going to take over and we helped you, and you said you'd help us? Yes, sir, I remember that. Would you?
The guy was begging for his country.
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
you remember?
How about a little thank you here? And we could do that around the country to people who owe us money or owe us favors, and we just call them in. I mean, you guys. We're a country that obviously is in need of foreign aid.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all all pile in, send us a little.
Let's go to Grand Rapids, where Lacey is also watching on the Ustream today. Lacey, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was just calling about the Rick and Bubba promotion song that is played to the tune of Poker Face. And even though there's nothing wrong with the promotion song, I really don't think it should be played because the actual song Poker Face is really bad. And Lady Gaga is a very immoral woman.
Yeah, there's no question about that. That's why we wanted to take a great little beat and a great little hook and do something positive with it.
Oh, yes, and I realize that the promotion song, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I just think that a lot of teens now are really influenced by bad music, and that
Well, don't you think that's a good way to solve that? Take it and make good music out of it?
Yeah, take it and make it our own. Don't let Lady Gaga have it. Yeah. I hope she doesn't get upset and come after me.
She sounded like Big Bo.
A little bit, didn't she? Big Bo just calls. But you know what? I'm actually excited that somebody of your age has that commitment to try to be holy and try not to be associated and influenced by those things. I'm actually, even though I understand and we're not above reproach, and you make a point, I hope you understand where we're coming from. It sounds like you do, but I'm just fired up that somebody of your age is thinking like that. So thank you for that. I mean, that thing.
You know, we talk about Bambi, but Mufasa dying in Lion King got me pretty good.
That is a tough one. That's when he's out there running around.
Yeah.
And
something about cartoons dying don't bother me.
You're able to see through the story there.
Oh,
yeah, that don't get me.
I put this one up there, too, that you talk about a movie that you just got to be taken off the list. Kathy and Opalaka. I refuse to watch it because I know it's coming. Go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
I have two movies that I don't think I've heard. The first one is Terms of Endearment with Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger.
Yes.
And there's one point in the movie where she's in really bad pain in the hospital, and the mom goes out and freaks out for medication for her.
Yeah, but what about
the nurses? And then when she dies and the dad leaves the kids, that's just terrible.
Well, what about in that one that gets me the most, though, and the two you're talking about in that movie are bad. There's so many in that movie. But the one when she brings her boys in and starts giving them the talk that she's about to go on in.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And the oldest one that's so angry,
yeah.
You know, and he just doesn't know what to do.
And what about when she looks at the little fella and he's just crying his eyes out and she said, "I thought that went well, don't you?"
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh.
How does that go well? But my other one is Steel Magnolias, where Sally Fields is with Julia Roberts when she dies.
Oh, yeah.
And then she has the freaking out scene in the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, those two movies to me get me really bad.
Yeah, it didn't make the list, but you're right. Those are
Yeah, how did all these not make the list? What group did they choose from?
South Carolina. Shirley standing by. Shirley, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Shirley.
I love the scene in Forrest Gump. I've watched this movie 5 million times, and every time he goes to visit Jenny's grave and says that line, if there's anything you ever need, it rips my heart to shreds. I can't take it.
And when he's loading his little fella on the school bus?
Yes.
Good gracious.
I love it. I love it.
How about Jenny went through some phases, did she?
I remember another one.
Well, I'll tell you.
I know another one.
I can't believe you hadn't brought up old Rink.
Greg?
Well, that whole movie kills me. But you remember in Smoking the Bandit? When Cletus went to load the truck and that tow motor got away from him, he broke all that Coors. That was just a waste.
Go get her on.
Hey, you can relate to whatever you do, okay? If you have little problems and they're fixable and they don't affect the big picture, you're like, okay, we can kind of deal with that.
Yeah.
But when it starts to affect, your workflow and the production and how you do things, you go, okay, all right, now something's got to get done. And now, see, it's starting to affect on-air stuff.
Well,
so
see,
now it's like, okay, it's affecting
Well,
the
there-
show.
there's
See,
three
I felt
things.
that way a week ago.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here now.
It's kind of like this coffee. It's real hot
And if
now.
you want to let this keep happening, Speedy, that's fine. But I'm not going to stand by.
No, I'm about to go over there.
There's three things.
Hold a little cyst in the engineer's hand.
that have our world upside down. That is our phones. The fact we apparently never have taught interns how to focus a camera. And somebody keeps buying Hunt's ketchup, and I want a piece of them. Okay, that is going to stop now. These phones may not work, but we're going to quit having this ketchup. This is horrible.
How about this? I can control the Heinz ketchup. That I can control. We'll be right back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.